I really need a campsite with some room so I can pull everything out. I got way too much stuff. And to that note, I'm going to do a ridiculous setup on here, because that's what we do on this channel, is something comfortable and fun, just in our regular old campground. Make some room pulling the carpet out of there, because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. It's cozier already. The downside of camping out of a car is basically you're just sitting in the car if it starts to rain or something like that. So I got these extendable painter's poles that I'm sure I can rig up some awning on my suction cup roof rack here to keep me out of the elements if it so chooses to rain. The tarp I got to use here is 6 feet, and to spread those painter's poles out, I'm using regular, ordinary, over-the-counter, consumer-grade, extendable shower curtain rods. 6 feet. Let's see what these things can do. No, not very strong. Why are my plans so ridiculous? Sturdy. I got these, no way. Is this gonna work? Okay, I got these gear ties. What are they actually called? Just a second. They're called gear ties, and they're like big twist ties, and they're reusable and stuff. So I've never used them before. They're kind of sticky. I don't know if this will work very good, but I like trying out new stuff. So this might work. I know already that these shower curtain poles are not good for the job because they're designed to just hold a shower curtain. And those aren't very heavy. Let's see, that looks like the way to set it up. I got a few ideas on how to attach this. Let's see what works. I got these really strong clips. I think good exercise, actually. And as long as the wind remains perfectly calm, we're going to be just fine. That's nice. All right, this is pretty good. I know they actually make awnings I can use, but that's not my style, let's be honest here. Anyway, this contraption's done. I'm going to start a fire in a little bit, but we got a little daylight and it's a beautiful park. Let's look around. All right, that looks like it'll do. Got some lights up on here. I'll take those in later. But it's so good to see some green on the leaves, like what's left of them. They were gone months ago, back where I came from in Alberta. Look at this. There are some reasonably impressive trees here. They get a lot bigger than this out here on the coast. And, but it's really nice to see. And even if I was allowed to scavenge wood from the outside the campgrounds here, it is saturated. For locals and people with a sharp eye, I have been to this campground before. This is where I did the tent in a tent, except I figure it's a little bit less recognizable without all the snow on the ground. And beautiful sights, probably about 15% of them are occupied, maybe less, just the way I like it. And there's a beach. Unfortunately, there's very few campgrounds that let you camp right on the beach. Most places have shut it down because people make a mess, light fires, bring their vehicles down, all that wonderful stuff. But this would be the best sound to fall asleep to I can imagine. This place has a couple hundred sites, but you wouldn't catch me here when they're all open. They've got probably 70 or 80 sites open right now. Of course, washrooms are all closed up, but there are the outhouse types, so they're just as good, right? I'm starting to make some organizational progress. I sleep in my car with a rice cooker. Do you? Look how unhappy those shower curtain rods are. I don't think they would hold up in a snow or even a slight breeze. So it's a cool experiment, but if we get through the night, I'm going to be very happy. I know it's not any warmer under this thing. It just feels cozier. Anyhow, step 2 time, because we've got a lot accomplished here today. And it is that time of year that if you are interested in merch, I do have a store. The only official one is the Crowdmade store, and there's going to be a link. That's all I have to say about that. If you find it anywhere else, it's counterfeit. And there is some of them out there. It's that most wonderful time of the year where the sun sets at 4:30. It makes it easy to sleep, but hard to cook dinner. It's only going to get darker than this. And the sun, despite setting so early, seems to rise disturbingly early, so that rules out sleeping in. I've got to get this fire going here in a moment. It's cooling off. I can see my breath. Right, fire time. It's store-bought wood, and the story about that, I ran into a guy who is a actual BC park ranger, and we got discussing about scavenging wood from the sites around the campsite. And, you know, it's, aside from the fact that it's so wet, it's just, if everybody did it, it would just be trampled down. So it was cool to meet him. He didn't want to be filmed. He didn't want me to say his name. But, you know, whatever we can do around here to keep things as environmentally friendly as possible, we want to do. Time to start cooking some food. And one of the best parts about bringing everything with you is that you have everything. Look at all this. Got everything other than a flipper, but this piece of kindling is going to work just fine. Got a little bit of camping spice on it, but there's nothing to worry about there. I'm just making a really simple traditional mac and cheese with some baby bok choy and a garlic white wine reduction. So let's roll. The great thing with the campsites open here well into November, and actually this one year round for certain sites, is that they're open. On the downside, they don't have water, so here I am, up to my old tricks, and we'll boil up some macaroni. Oh yeah, that's gonna not have a problem at all.
There's the "did I just leak" look, or there's up to 100% leak-free protection from Tampax.
With Liberty Mutual, you can customize and save.
Oh, I think your hats are switched.
No.
In my journeys, I have found 3 awesome stealth camping spots, and that's kind of the goal of the whole thing. Travel around, camp pretty basic, aside from all this hullabaloo, the carpet and whatnot, the lights. The whole goal is to kind of travel around in my car, find these spots, and the next one, yeah, it's okay. But the 2 after that, I was pretty blown away when I found them. Not quite roundabout material, but whatever. I don't think anything's going to top that. Macaroni a la Steve. I know. Why do I always cook a meal for 4? The world is made for a family of 4. I used to cook for 2, but that was even tricky. And now, cooking for 1 on the road, they don't sell a quarter pan of chicken broth, and they don't sell a quarter pound of ground beef or anything like that. You have to buy a family-sized portion. So I cook it all and have leftovers the next day. That's nothing wrong with eating 4 days of the same thing, right? All right. A little garlic in there too. A pine needle in there somehow. Flour. Slowly add in some 10% cream. A little bit of